Hello, my dear friends. I welcome you all to this channel Hospitality Education PPT. How are you all? I hope you are all enjoying your life with your academics. And today we'll get back to our revenue management series, and this one will be our fourth lesson on that. Already in our previous three lessons on revenue management, we have discussed about basic of revenue management, and then we have also discussed thoroughly about demand forecasting, and of course in our last lesson we have discussed about different elements of revenue management. And then today our objective is to talk about different revenue management measuring tools, that is known as KPI. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicator. In any business we require this kind of indicator tools to track our business, whether it is in right stage or right potential, they are going to the right direction, or we need to revisit our system and correct it as and when it is required. So without wasting further time, let us focus further into the topic, that is measuring success, hotel revenue management KPIs you need to know. That is our area of learning today. So you are all welcome to this channel, that is Hospitality Education PPT, and let's begin. In the introduction, I have mentioned that KPI means Key Performance Indicator. And here we are mentioning that there are certain formulas we require to know, to calculate by using those formulas to know the effectivity of our revenue management system. To know it further, key performance indicators, in short we call it KPIs, play a very crucial role in hotel revenue management. Why? Because these matrices serve as touchstones to measure progress towards desired outcomes. Let's delve into some essential KPIs used by revenue managers in the hotel industry. And you as a beginner, it is very important on your part to know it in details, so that in future you'll be placed in that department, you won't be feeling that you are a stranger over there. So let us know the KPIs one by one. First one is ADR, and it is known as average daily rate. ADR, average daily rate. What is that? How it is calculated? ADR is calculated by total room revenue divided by number of rooms sold. That means after selling the rooms, whatever is your revenue collected out of selling those rooms, divided by number of rooms sold. Okay, so that is your ADR, means average daily rate. As it does not include empty rooms, you can use it to compare hotel performance and revenue to previous periods, thus forecasting seasonal trends better. Hopefully you got this. ADR calculation does not include any empty rooms. Room revenue collected and number of rooms sold, against that it is calculated. So how it will help? It will help you to check your performance and compare your present performance with the previous one, or against a particular season, how you are performing. That is one kind of indicator in our hand, that is ADR, very important. Next, total room revenue. What does it mean? Total room revenue is a KPI that shows how much revenue your hotel generates for all occupied rooms in a certain measured period. How it is done? You can see that total room revenue is equal to number of rooms sold multiplied by ADR. Once you get that, then you get the total room revenue out of this. Okay, so earlier one, how to calculate the ADR and how to calculate the total room revenue. That means number of sold rooms multiplied by average daily rate. Okay, then you'll get your room revenue. That is total room revenue. Got it? Next one, RevPAR. RevPAR is a short form and we call it revenue per available room. Revenue per available room. RevPAR takes all your rooms into consideration. Remember these words very carefully. RevPAR takes all your rooms into considerations to help you determine the performance of your ADR and occupancy rate. You can use it to see how well your hotel is performing during a certain period. That can be a day, week, month or year, which makes it one of the key matrices for measuring profitability. And how it is calculated? RevPAR is calculated by total room revenue upon number of available rooms. Total room revenue upon number of available rooms. RevPAR is also very important KPI in our revenue management system. Another one is GOPAR, GOPPAR, gross operating profit per available room. GOPAR is what? Gross operating profit per available room. What does it mean? GOPAR represents the revenue that's left after handling various expenses such as monthly bills, salaries, insurance and taxes. Try to understand this. GOPAR represents the revenue that's left. Revenue is left when after handling, that means after you are paid various expenses such as monthly bills, salaries, insurance and taxes. Okay, as it includes operational cost, it is a better KPI than RevPAR. That is very simple to understand. You can use it to gain insights into your overall revenue and performance, as well as identify the most revenue generating parts of your property. And how to calculate this? GOPAR can be calculated like this: gross operating profit, that is GOP, upon number of available rooms. If you follow this formula, the figure will be arriving that will tell you about the GOPAR, that is gross operating profit per available room. Fine, fair enough. Let's proceed to the next. TRevPAR. TRevPAR. Total revenue per available room. Total revenue per available room. TRevPAR includes all the revenue your hotel generates beyond booked rooms, such as from your restaurant, spa, fitness center, parking lot, and any other amenity. So total revenue par, total rev par or T rev par includes all the revenue your hotel generates beyond booked rooms. Other than room, from other areas, whatever revenue we generate, that is included in T rev par. That's why it is known as total revenue per available room. You can use it to measure the performance of your amenities and understand different demographics better. You can then capitalize on different markets and boost revenue. It's well understood whether people are loving your restaurant, your specialty cuisine restaurants, or they are loving your spa or the fitness center or your parking area. They are utilizing it. This is very spacious, and other amenities, whatever you have planned to give it to your guest for their usage, whatever, you can easily identify from which area your revenue is getting generated more, and accordingly you can emphasize on those areas. So it is clear. So how this T rev par can be calculated? It is calculated on the basis of total net revenue upon number of available rooms. Clear? Next one, ALOS. ALOS, average length of stay. If you take the acronym of this, it stands for average length of stay. ALOS. ALOS is the average length of stay, that is the average number of days people stay at a hotel during a particular period. You can use this metric to identify an opportunity to offer better rates for longer stays, thus increase your revenue. Average length of stay, when you know that if that tool is telling you average length of stay of your guest 2 days or 3 days, now you can give some attractive rate so that people can incline for staying 1 day or 2 days more for their vacation or for any other purposes they have come to hotel. So that will generate more revenue. And how it is calculated? ALOS, total occupied room nights upon number of bookings. If you calculate in that way, you will be easily getting ALOS, that is average length of stay of guest. Clear? Occupancy rate. The occupancy rate is the most basic KPI for hotel revenue management. You can apply occupancy rate to any period to see how well your hotel is performing over time. And how it is calculated? Occupancy percentage is calculated on the basis of this: total number of occupied rooms divided by total number of available rooms multiplied by 100. Very simple calculation. So if you calculate by getting these figures, total number of occupied rooms divided by total number of available rooms multiplied by 100, what you achieve, that is your occupancy percentage. And what occupancy percentage will tell you? Occupancy rate is most basic KPI for hotel revenue management. You can apply it at any period to see how well your hotel is performing over time. How many people are staying over there in that particular period? That will tell you that occupancy rate. Clear? Fine. Let's move. Now, we'll talk about yield management. We have already discussed this about the yield concept in our previous lesson. Today we'll try to take one example and try to understand it in a better way. Now let's see the example. Hotel ABC has total 70 rooms and having one category of room with a rack rate of 7,000 rupees. Rack rate is the best price, and 60 rooms were sold with rupees 6,000. That's the rate. Now calculate the yield. I repeat once again that Hotel ABC has total 70 rooms. Keep it in your mind. And all the rooms are from one category. The rack rate is 7,000 rupees per room. And how many rooms sold? Out of 70, 60 rooms sold. At which rate? Rupees 6,000. Okay. Now we are asked to calculate the yield. How to do that? Yield means actual revenue by potential revenue. Now what is actual revenue? How it is calculated? Actual revenue means actually you have received through selling of your rooms. So that's why in the bracket the narration is given. It is rooms sold multiplied by ADR. If you calculate this, what you will be getting? That is your actual revenue. Once you get the actual revenue, then also you calculate the potential revenue. And potential revenue is what? Rooms available multiplied by rack rate, because that is the best price you have already fixed in for every room per day. So that is your potential. Once one actual revenue is divided by potential revenue, you get the yield. In this case, if you calculate actual revenue, rooms sold, we have mentioned the 60 rooms sold. What is the price? 6,000 rupees. That is the rate you calculated, and this is the figure in front of you. Now potential revenue then, very simple. What is your potential? You can sell maximum 70 rooms, that is your capacity. What is the best price you can give? That is 7,000 rupees, and that is your potential revenue. So this is the figure. Once you get these two figures, calculation is very easy, and the yield becomes 0.64. 0.64 means, yes, you were right, 64%. So your yield is 64%. That is the simplest way how yield is calculated. I hope it is very clear in your mind now. Let's move forward. Measuring yield. Now to measure yield, there are different KPI formulas, and we'll first discuss them, then we'll take up the example to understand it in a better way. First one, potential average single rate, which is known as PASR. Potential average single rate, what is that? PASR is single room revenues at rack rate divided by number of rooms sold as single room multiplied by 100. Once you do this calculation, what you arrive at, that is PASR, and PASR means potential average single rate. Single room revenues at rack rate, number of rooms sold as single room multiplied by 100. Clear? Don't worry, we'll have some examples in coming slides. It will be much more transparent to you. Another, potential average double rate, that means PADR. If you have understood step 1, then step 2 is also very easy. Now it is, in first case it was single room revenue at rack rate. Now in this case it is obviously double room revenues at rack rate divided by number of rooms sold as double multiplied by 100. And if you calculate, you get what? That is PADR. And PADR means potential average double rate. Fine? Fair enough to understand? Okay, let's go. Step 3. Multiple occupancy percentage. That is, in bracket I have mentioned MO, multiple occupancy percentage. How it is calculated? Number of rooms occupied by more than one person divided by total number of rooms sold multiplied by 100. So we are calculating multiple occupancy percentage. How it is to be calculated? Number of rooms occupied by more than one person divided by total number of rooms sold multiplied by 100. And if you get that, what you achieve, that is your multiple occupancy percentage. Clear? Okay. Step 4. The rate spread is very important one. Very simple to calculate. What is rate spread? You have to calculate the potential average double rate minus potential average single rate. If you do that, you will be getting the rate spread. How it will help? We'll understand that definitely in coming slides. Another one, potential average rate, PAR. What is that? PAR equal to multiple occupancy percentage multiplied by rate spread plus PASR. What is PASR? If you find out our previous slide, that is potential average single rate, PASR, and PADR is potential average double rate. So let's go back to the potential average rate. How it is calculated? Multiple occupancy percentage multiplied by rate spread plus PASR, potential average single rate. Clear? Now another one term, room rate achievement factor. Another very important KPI. How it is calculated? Achievement factor is calculated by actual average rate by potential average rate multiplied by 100. And what you get, that is your achievement factor. You just have your patience. When I'll get the example in front of you, definitely it will be much more transparent. In statistics, now there are different options through which we can calculate these yield statistics. One of them is occupancy percentage multiplied by achievement factor is one way to get yield statistics. Another one is actual revenue, that means room sold multiplied by ADR divided by potential revenue, that is room available multiplied by rack rate. Already you have done this. That is also you can use as a part of yield statistics. And another one is room nights sold divided by room nights available multiplied by actual average room rate divided by potential average rate. If you calculate that, you get another one figure which is known as the part of yield statistics. So these are the three ways you can calculate the yield statistics. Fair enough? Let's move forward. Yes, we are talking about the example in the form of a small case study, and we'll see that first. The Hotel ABC has 300 guests room with an average room rate of rupees 7,000. The current average occupancy is 70%. There are 200 standard double rooms and 100 deluxe double rooms. Okay. Rack rate of standard rooms as single occupancy, that is rupees 8,000, and as double occupancy rupees 9,000. That is about rack rate about the standard rooms. For single occupancy 8,000, for double occupancy 9,000. Okay. Rack rate for deluxe room. As single occupancy, here it is rupees 10,000, and as double occupancy it is rupees 12,000. Fine. So I repeat once again, Hotel ABC has 300 guest rooms with an average room rate of rupees 7,000, that is a rack rate actually. The current average occupancy is 70%. There are 200 standard double rooms and 100 deluxe double rooms. And here also you have mentioned that for standard rooms as single occupancy what is the rack rate, and as double occupancy what is the rack rate of the same thing for the deluxe room as single occupancy and as double occupancy. Okay, there is no doubt up to this. Now the challenge is, if 175 rooms from 70% occupancy are sold at double occupancy, calculate the yield. Clear? 175 rooms from 70% occupancy are sold as double occupancy. So calculate the yield. Okay, let's begin. Step 1, potential average single rate PASR, that is the hotel has valid single rate, so we need to calculate PASR. Here we can see the table. Room type, we are having two types of room out here, standard and deluxe room. Number of rooms, total 300, out of that 200 for the standard rooms and 100 deluxe room. Single occupancy rack rate for the standard room is 8,000 rupees and single rack rate for the deluxe room is 10,000 rupees. Okay. Then revenue at 100% occupancy. If we consider that 200 rooms are sold 100% occupancy, then this is a revenue. Simply by multiplying these two, we get this figure. Sorry. And in case of deluxe room, we are having number of rooms 100. Single rack rate is 10,000 rupees, considering 100% occupancy, and it is then the same thing, multiplying these two figure, you get this. So total rooms 300, total revenue is, this is the figure, right? This you have calculated. Now how to calculate this potential average single rate or PASR? Already you have given the formula. The formula is also visited out here. You can see single room revenue at rack rate, number of rooms sold as single. Okay. In this case, the figure is what? Single room revenue at rack rate. We are having two types of rooms. All we consider a single room sold with their rack rate, and this is a total potential revenue. Number of rooms sold as single is 300. Then this figure is sum of the figure, it is there, that is rupees 8,667. Whatever is the figure is not the factor. Factor is how it is to be calculated. So this is the way PASR, potential average single rate, is calculated. I think it is very simple, very clear in our mind now. Okay, let's proceed to the next. Potential average double rate, PADR. The hotel has varied rates by room type, so we need to calculate a PADR as well. Now here, same figure, same table rather. For the standard room, number of rooms having 200. For the deluxe, we are having 100 rooms. For the double rack rate is 9,000 rupees for the standard room, and double rack rate 12,000 rupees for the deluxe room. If you calculate in a similar fashion like earlier slide, you'll get this total revenue on 100% occupancy against the total room, that is 300. Now you are going to calculate a PADR, that is potential average double rate, and it is calculated how double room revenue at rack rate divided by number of rooms sold as double. So all the criteria is fulfilling out here. Now if you simply calculate a mathematical calculation, this total amount divided by total rooms, and ultimately what you get, that is rupees 10,000, in this case your PADR. I believe it is also very clear in your mind how to calculate that. Let's proceed to the next. We'll calculate the multiple occupancy now. It was mentioned that 175 rooms from 70% occupancy of 300. So 70% occupancy of 300 is 210. Okay, are sold at double occupancy. So you have to calculate the multiple occupancy. How to calculate the multiple occupancy? Number of rooms occupied by more than one person divided by total number of rooms sold multiplied by 100. Clear? That's the formula. In this case, number of rooms occupied by more than one person is 175 rooms. Is mentioned already in our case study. It is mentioned. Total number of rooms sold, how many? 70% occupancy of 300, that is 210, multiplied by 100. And what is the figure? Figure is 83. Okay, so multiple occupancy is 83%. Clear? Very simple to calculate. Rate spread. The determination of room rate spread among various rooms types are available is essential for taking decisions in targeting the hotel's specific market. Okay. Now, room sold as a double room, room sold as single occupancy. If you know this figure, if you know the spread, then definitely accordingly you can emphasize on the target market. This figure will tell you in which target market is more popular for your hotels. Rate spread is what? Potential average double rate minus potential average single rate. And then in this case, rate spread is already you have calculated. Potential average double rate is 10,000 rupees, and in earlier slides we have calculated potential average single rate is 8667, and the difference is rupees 1,333. Okay, so that is your rate spread. Potential average rate, that is PAR. Potential average rate, how it is to be calculated? Multiple occupancy percentage multiplied by rate spread plus PASR. We got all the figure in our hand now. It is multiple percentage, occupancy percentage is 0.83 multiplied by rate spread 1,333 plus potential average single room rate, that is rupees 8,667, that we have calculated, if you remember that. And then if you calculate this entire thing, you'll get the figure which is nothing but the potential average rate or PAR, rupees 9,773 in this case. Clear? Now next one, room rate achievement factor. The percentage of the rack rate the hotel actually receives is contained in the hotel's achievement factor. What is that? Achievement factor is actual average rate divided by potential average rate multiplied by 100. Okay. Actual average rate, it was mentioned 7,000 rupees if you remember our case study in the beginning. Potential average rate, what you have calculated? 8,667 and divided by 100, it is 81%. That means your achievement factor is 81%. Okay. In statistics, most important, one way of calculating is in statistics occupancy percentage multiplied by achievement factor. Occupancy percentage is 7%, 70% occupancy. So 0.7 here, and achievement factor we have just now calculated 0.81. If you multiply these two, you get 0.567. We take it to 57 as per the mathematical guideline, 57% in statistics. So that will definitely help you that in which how much your target you are fulfilling. Now we'll talk about identical yield statistics. Now the situation is, if we wish to offer decrease or increase our rate, what occupancy percentage need to achieve for the same yield? We want to have the same yield as we have mentioned 53% or something like that in our previous slide. Now to achieve the same yield, if we wish to offer a discount, decrease or increase in price to achieve the same yield. For example, we wish to offer rupees 1,000, that means rack rate was 7,000 rupees minus 1,000, we are decreasing, in this case it becomes 6,000 rupees discount. Not 6,000 rupees discount, 1,000 rupees is a discount and your rate will be finally, instead of 7,000, 6,000 rupees. What occupancy percentage you will need to achieve for the same yield? You got the situation now. Our yield, previous yield was what? Remember this, 57%. Now we are giving another one situation. For example, we wish to offer 1,000 rupees discount. What occupancy percentage you need to achieve for the same yield? We want to achieve the same yield. So what kind of occupancy percentage has to be increased or decreased, that we will see. So that will be calculated through identical yield statistics. Your current occupancy percentage multiplied by current rate divided by proposed rate. So what is your occupancy percentage as per the case study? It is 70%. Current rate, it was 7,000 rupees and we have proposed that we will be taking 6,000 rupees with the same percentage. So 0.84, that means 84%. You have to take your occupancy to 84% instead of 70%. That is your identical yield statistics. To have the same yield. Same yield of what? 57% yield, which we have calculated earlier. You got my point? If you want to offer a discount of 1,000 rupees out of the same situation, and if your management told that we want to have the same yield, we are not going to suffer by losing the yield. then what should be our occupancy? That's why what occupancy percentage we need to achieve for the same meal. And your calculation says by the basis of current occupancy percentage multiplied by current rate divided by proposed rate, and what you calculate, that is 0.84 or 84%. Clear? Fair enough? I believe all the KPI formulas are clear in your mind now. So thank you very much for attending this session. Honestly, we have discussed very important aspect of revenue management, that is KPI. And during this session, we have not only discussed the formulas, we have also discussed them thoroughly with standard examples. This video is made for you. Your comment is very important. Again and again, you can go through this video for better understanding. If you are having any doubts, please put the comment in the comment box. I'll get back to you as earliest. That is my commitment. And if you have liked this session, definitely you just press the bell button to get the alarm before we upload another one. Subscribe it, share it with your friends, and also press the like button to make me little bit motivated towards this. If you don't put like also, definitely I won't stop delivering out here. I'll definitely deliver. So I believe very soon we'll be getting back with another one, continuation of the revenue management series. And till then, thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care.